Hello, this is an extract from a recording that I made when meeting with pupils from Tynalt, Dalmally and Kilcrennan. The information that was discussed in this Meet Mr Bain session could really be relevant to any pupil coming from any P7 class into Oban High School. For obvious reasons I've had to edit it, so it may seem a wee bit fragmented, but I'm sure you'll find it valuable nonetheless. If at the end of it there are any questions that remain unanswered, then please make sure that you use the Contact Us page on the website. Well, I hope you find this useful. Thank you.
Let's begin by saying hello everyone from Tynalt Primary, Dalmally Primary and Kilcrennan Primary. It's great that I've got this opportunity to come and chat to you all, online, and to tell you all about you coming along to Oban High School after the summer, and perhaps a wee visit before. Who knows? We'll need to see what happens with COVID. Now, normally I would be coming out to see you in your school and to stand in front of you in these classrooms and give you a chat, and I would normally bring a guidance teacher with me, and we would play a couple of games and we would do a question and answer session. And clearly that's not entirely possible, but what I do hope to do in this new format is still tell you everything I can about Oban High School and maybe play a couple of wee games with you, although it'll not work so well, but we'll try it anyway. So why do I do this? Why is it that I want to have a chat to you before you come along? Well, I do this every year, and it's because I know that you will be anxious, or many of you will be anxious about leaving primary and coming along to Oban High School. And you'll be anxious for a number of reasons. You'll be anxious because it's a big move. You'll be leaving the primary school you've been in for 7 years, or if you went to nursery there, it could be even longer. You'll be anxious about the journey that will take place between Dalmally and Kilcrennan and coming into Oban. You'll be anxious about arriving in the big school and perhaps getting lost, maybe not getting on with people, worried about the changes to the way in which we deliver the subjects. So I'm going to cover a lot of these anxieties that I know that you will have, because like I say, I've done this for many, many years, so I already know some of the questions that you would likely ask and be worried about. And at the end of that, I will give you the chance to ask any questions that you like as well. So let's begin by talking about, one of the biggest worries is it's going to be so much different between your primary and the high school. And a lot of you will think that they'll work so much harder, okay? And can I just reassure you that it won't be? It's a bit like when you moved from P6 into P7, okay? When you move from P6 to P7, you would have found the work a wee bit harder. Your P7 teacher would have built on their work or a different teacher's work from the year before and added a wee bit on, and that would be a wee bit harder. And just like when you come to the high school, we will add on a wee bit and it will be a wee bit harder, because we know the excellent work that your teachers are doing in Oban High School and in your primary school, and we just add to that. The one big difference that you're going to notice is not in the difficulty of the work. The one big difference that you're going to notice is in how you move about the building and how we teach you different subjects. Because in your current school, you'll be learning lots of things. You'll be learning English and maths and history and art, music and geography and science. And you do that all as part of projects, and you do it usually with 1, 2, 3 teachers at the most. And when you come to Oban High School, what we do is we do all the same sort of stuff that your teacher does just now, but we separate it out. So there's an English teacher that just does English, a maths teacher that just does maths, science that just does science, etc. But we also have more specialist equipment here. So when you're doing science, you'll have to go to the science department and use the specialist equipment there. Or maybe you're doing some sort of engineering task, in which case you'll go to technical and you'll technical stuff and technical. Art, you'll go to art. Music, you'll go to music, etc. Okay, so that's the one big change. It's not the content that will change, it's just the way in which we tell you. And just like your excellent teachers are doing just now, we're just going to build on that same sort of stuff. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to ask my friend Alan, who's also on the call, I'm going to get Alan to show you a video of what Oban High School looks like, so that when we're talking about all these things, you'll have an image in your mind about what to expect. Okay, so the video is only 5 minutes long. It's a video that we made for architects. Oban High School, or the new Oban High School, has been up for a couple of architectural awards, and not one, but nearly a couple of times. And this video that we made for the architects will show off the new Oban High School and some of the things that are in it. So 5-minute video, and then we'll get back to the chat. Right, Alan, thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm sure that you're going to love this week tour of the school, and my thanks very much to Freya and Isla.
Hello, I'm Freya, the head girl of Oban High School.
Hi, I'm Isla. I'm one of the clan leaders at Oban High School. We're going to take you on a wee tour of the school.
We want to show you how we've brought the architect's vision to life. Now I'm going to introduce you to one of our senior pupils, Bryce Polly. Bryce is interested in studying architecture when he leaves school, so he'd like to tell you a bit about the design of our school.
The granite base unifies the building with the local geography, and moving up, the brown copper reflects the sun coming over the hills. Inside the school, the green gradient going up the floors reflects the surrounding hills, and then the purple in the foyer and the purple furniture looks like the heather on the hills.
This is our Atrium. It's a multi-purpose facility. As you can see right now, it's set up for exams. And now, this is it set up for our performances.
The Expressive Arts Department at Oban High School contains drama, music and art and design. In drama, we're really lucky to have state-of-the-art facilities. We have 2 wonderfully equipped drama studios with LED lighting and state-of-the-art sound equipment. In music, we have 3 really well-equipped music rooms which allow our pupils to play a range of instruments. We also benefit from practice rooms and storage space for these instruments.
Added art, and with the 3 studios, it made it such an enjoyable experience.
The new technology also allows us to teach lessons to our sister school in Tyree. This is our beauty and hairdressing salon. There's 5 different courses being taught in here this year, and the facilities are fantastic.
Using traditional and new technology, we're able to bring woodwork to the 21st century.
We've got a fantastic range of vocational courses that we deliver at the school. This is Martin, one of our tutors, who's going to tell you a bit more about the courses.
Okay, so this classroom is absolutely ideal for our automotive and our engineering classes. We can bring in vehicles and actually some heavy equipment into the classroom, and we're not simulating the workshop, we actually have it working as a workshop.
I'm now going to pass you over to Amber, who's going to tell you about our new agriculture and animal handling programme.
Okay, and then we've got a Welsmer down here, and a barn builder, a highline and a Brahma. Walking around having a scratch.
Now we're going to go inside and look at our Rudel skills class to see what they're getting up to. We also have traditional subjects like science and home ec.
And the new school makes them very exciting.
Let's nip down to the support department to see all the cool facilities down there.
Here you can see our massive games hall that we have, which we can use for dancing, badminton and football. We also have our basketball hall, which is great for kids' activities. We also have our gym studio and our fitness studio and our dance studio, which we use for School of Dance. We also have our gym downstairs, which is used by the exercise and fitness class. We also have our School of Rugby. They use the 4G pitch outside, which is great for games and for practice.
Check out our trophy cabinet. It's the same as the one in the new camp.
In Barcelona.
So that's Oban High School, and that's some of the imagery that I need you to keep in the back of your head when we talk about what to expect. So I did tell you that one of your biggest fears is actually moving here, and because it's maybe going to be that much harder, but it's not really, because we're just building on what you already do in primary, and we're building on the good work of your teachers in primary. But what happens when you actually get here and you walk towards the front door of that building that I just showed you? So coming along to Oban High School, what can you expect? Well, the first thing that you'll obviously be faced with in your case is that all of you will be getting transport. You'll all be getting, in all likelihood, the train or occasionally the bus. And we will make sure that before it's time for you to come along to Oban High School, that you'll have all the information that you need, including your Young Scot card, to get onto the train or the bus. All right. Now, given how many people put up their hand in terms of brothers and sisters and all that, I'm pretty sure that you will already know where exactly to go in Dalmally and Tynalt to get the train. And I'm pretty sure that in Kilcrennan we'll be able to sort out exactly where you will get the bus to take you towards Oban. So that'll all be sorted for you, okay? And that'll be done ahead of the game, so don't worry, that'll just happen. And then the bus will take you, or the train will take you into Oban. If you get the train, we will have, on your very first day here, people who will collect you from the train station. And the staff and the senior pupils that collect you, they will bring you all the way to Oban High School, so you can't get lost. You just follow the staff and the pupils that we've sent. And if you're coming in by bus, the bus takes you right into Oban High School. You saw a picture of the bus park at the beginning of that video that I showed you. And you just walk down what we call the avenue, the big wide pavement towards the front door. And on that first day, you'll be arriving for 9 o'clock. Right, so you need to be at school before 9 o'clock, because you'll need to be sitting down in a lesson ready to begin your lessons at 9:05. You'll be arriving in your uniform. Your uniform is plain black shoes or plain black trainers, no logos or anything. Plain black trousers or skirt. If you wear a skirt, you wear tights. A plain black jumper or cardigan, and a white shirt with a collar. Right, and that collar will hide your tie, because everybody will need a black and gold tie. And again, we'll sort that out beforehand. Now, normally we hand out your ties to your parents, or your parents buy your ties from a wee visit that we arrange in June. I'll talk to you a minute about that. Or your parents will be able to pick them up from the school right throughout the summer holidays. So don't worry about that. But that's the only thing that you really need to get from the school. Everything else you can buy online or you can buy in Tesco. But it's plain black, everything bar your white shirt. So you arrive in time, you arrive in your uniform, and at that front door, when you walk up to the front door, we will meet you with staff and with senior pupils. And the senior pupils, they'll take you into the atrium that you saw in the video. And I will lead an assembly welcoming you to Oban High School. And then after that, your senior pupils that are allocated to look after you, they will take you to your first class. They'll come and get you at the end of that class. They'll take you to another class. So for example, they might take you to an English class, and then they'll come and collect you, and then they might take you to PE. Then they'll come and collect you, and then they'll take you to break. It's a 15-minute break. Then they'll come and collect you and they'll take you to another class. They might take you up the stairs to science. Then they'll come and collect you and they'll take you to lunch. And it's a 50-minute lunch. and they'll tell you about breaks and lunch and what you can eat in a wee while. Then they'll come and collect you, and then they'll take you to another couple of subjects in the afternoon. They might take you to music, or they might take you to art or something. Okay, so that's what I was talking about when I talked about the different structure to the day. But everywhere you go in the school, you will always have senior pupils who will take you everywhere for at least the first 3 weeks. So you can't get lost, because I know that getting lost is one of your big anxieties, I would think. Okay, so how will you know where to go, and how will you know what class in? So we have a clan system. It's house. The school's very big. So there's over 1,000 youngsters. In fact, when you come along in August, there'll be 1,036 pupils in the school and 140 adults. So as well as all these seniors looking after you, that's an important thing to mention, there's also adults everywhere. So yes, the building's huge, but with 140 adults, if you ever get lost, if you ever have a question, if you've ever got a concern, you can just look about anywhere and there'll be an adult somewhere and you go, excuse me, miss, excuse me, sir, can you help me? And they will be glad to help you, just as much as the senior pupils that will take you everywhere. Okay. Now, I mentioned that there's lots of adults, but there are particular adults that you are going to see more often than not. And the very first one is your clan guidance teacher. The clan guidance teacher is the person that you will see the most. They're the person whose job it is to look after your well-being. That person will communicate with your parents all the time. So when your parents need to write to the school, they don't write to me, because obviously I can't deal with 2,000 parents writing in. But we subdivide that, and the guidance teacher answers most of these questions. And then there's a deputy head that's available for each clan. There's also a family liaison officer for each clan, and there's classroom support, and there is IT support divided up into each of the clans. And that makes it much easier for us to look after each person in the clan. So there's 4 clans, and you're all going to get divided up into the clans. And I can tell you now that if you already have a brother or sister in a particular clan, you will definitely go into that clan. If you don't have a brother or sister in a clan, then our guidance teachers, they'll spread you about the clans to make sure that the clans have even numbers. But when they do put you into these clans, they will try and put you into a class where, well, they won't try, they will put you into a class where you already know someone else. So in larger schools, that's clearly easier than it is if you're coming from a smaller school. So, right. So obviously, if you're coming from a smaller school like Kilcrennan, we'll have a discussion with you and see if there's someone in one of the other schools that you know and get on with, and we'll try and put you into that class as well. If you're coming from a larger school like Tynalt, where there's clearly more of you than there are in Dalmally and Kilcrennan, then it's much easier to put you into a class where you already know someone. We won't necessarily put you in a class with your best pal. We will try and put you in a class with whoever your teacher recommends that you will get on well with, or who you will work well with. And you have to remember another thing, that in high school, that when we say that we're going to put you in a class, you do not spend all day in a class with the same people. So as much as we put you in a clan class and you will go to 2 or 3 subjects with those people that we send you with, throughout the course of the day and throughout the course of the week, we mix you up and you spread about. And as well as going to Oban High School with your existing friends, you meet lots of new people from the other 18 primary schools that come to Oban High School. And by the time you leave in S6, actually, in S6 usually tell us the best thing about school is meeting new friends from new school. And so you're going to make lots more friends, and you'll find that you'll make lots more friends with similar interests in you. So we've got Dermot, yellow, Finglet's green, Ocean, it's red, and Summerlib, it's blue. So there are the 4 clans. And if you, as I said, have a brother or sister in any of these 4 clans, then you will definitely be going into that clan. I can't tell you exactly which class in the clan you'll go to, because there's like, for example, 1F1 and 1F2, but you will be in that particular clan, and we will put you in with someone that you know, or someone that you get on well with, wherever we can manage that. So I did mention briefly that you're going to go to some different subjects, okay, because we teach you slightly differently. I only mentioned maybe about 7 or 8 then. There are a much wider range of subjects that we teach. In fact, by the time you get to A6, you'll have a choice of 90 different subjects. Okay, 90 different subjects. So to begin with, you only get about 15. Some of them we merge, like science. So science is obviously made up of physics, biology, and chemistry. And socials, you'll get socials, and that's geography, history, and modern studies. And there's RE in there. And then we've got art, music, drama, English, maths, art, etc. But as you move up the school, you'll start to get more technical subjects. So you'll get engineering, marine engineering, graphic communication. You'll get, and if you go further up in that line, you'll get foundation apprenticeships and different skills like business and admin. There's computers and there's computer games design, and these are all courses that you can do. There's other vocational courses like you saw in the video, linked to agriculture and animal handling. There's a wealth of subjects, and there's really something for everyone depending on what your career choice is. And as well as all these different subjects you can do, there's lots of extracurricular activities. There are after school clubs and lunchtime clubs. So if you're into music, you could join the pipe band. It's a world championship pipe band. You could join the choir. You could join the rock band. You could play the drums. The drummers come together. If you're into sport, you can play football, rugby, shinty, badminton, table tennis, athletics. There's a huge range of sports, and if you're into fitness, we've got a fantastic gym there. You can't do that in S1 not, but as you get older, you'll be able to do strength and conditioning and all that sort of gym stuff. If you're not into sport or music, that's okay, because there's still other things, like there's a film club, a chess club, an anime club, there's a eco club, there's a club if you want to go flying drones. If you're into horses, although that's only in the summer, you'll go down to the Highland Show and go and watch horse things with the staff that run that. And there's debating, there's a whole bunch of things that should be there for everyone. And if there's any type of activity that you're into at all, and we don't run a club for it, and you're maybe wanting to start a club and you can find a member of staff that would help you, then we would start up a club for you, and we would buy whatever we need and just get it going, as long as there's enough interest. So for example, a couple of years ago, we had a mixed martial arts club, because we had some kids that were into that. We had a free running club. That was really interesting, but you know, that's not running just now because there's not enough interest, but it's just an example of, if you think of something and you want us to support your interest, then we will. Okay, so that's me covered. Getting to school on the transport, arriving on day one, how we're going to look after you with all the staff. We've talked about not to worry about the difficulty of the work, because we build on the primary work. Not to worry about getting lost, because there's lots of support, who you can go to support, what you get in the school and what you get in after the school. Now, I have left a couple of things out of that presentation, because I now want you to ask as many questions as you like. You're going to have to ask them to your teacher if you're in a class. The teacher will need to manage all these manic hands that will be going up, and if the teachers can just add it to the chat, I will answer them one at a time. And remember that I'm doing this to make sure that any concerns you have, any questions you have, are answered, so it takes away the fear factor of coming along to the high school, because it will all be fine. Right, teachers, go for it. I think the record was, who did we do? Did we do St Columba's, that had about 43 questions? So I'm sure you'll not have 43 questions. What happens about going out for lunch? Cool. Right, so at lunchtime, S1s are not allowed to leave the school premises. Obviously, you can leave the school building and you can go into the atrium and you can go and sit in all these hundreds of benches that are outside with your pals. But you can't leave the school perimeter until after October. And the reason that we do that is because I said to you that, you know, one of the best things about being in school is that you'll make new friends. But if you come to Open High School and then you just go to your subjects and then we'll let you out at lunchtime, you will inevitably just go down the street with the same pals that you've got just now, and you won't make a wider group of friends, and you won't try out the new clubs, because the excitement of going down to Tesco will just be too much. So we keep you until October, until you start to bond a wee bit more with the rest of the first years, make new pals, try out some clubs, and then after that, Then we'll let you out to go down the street. When are the induction days is another good question. So normally we would have 3 induction days where we bring you to Oban High School while you're still at primary. You just come in your primary uniform, and we give you some information, a bit like what I'm doing just now. But in school, we give you that information. We take you a tour of the school. We put you into some classes to give you a feel of what it's like to be in a high school class. And we do some sporty activities with you where we split you up into your clans and you have clan clashes, and it's really quite exciting. However, because of COVID, we weren't able to do that last summer, and we may not be able to do it this summer. We just don't know yet. But if we are able to do it this summer, it is roughly the first week or 2 in June. Okay. Is there an age for specific clubs? That's a good question. So the clubs that use the heavy lifting equipment in the gym, you have to be 16. With the exception of that, if it's there's no other, actually that's the only restriction. You can join any other club. You can join the pipe band, you can join the football teams, you can join the rugby, you can join the music. Doesn't matter what age you are. So that's open to S1s all the time. And one of the other things that I should have mentioned that I forgot is that S1s, Oban High School is so large, and we have a lot of specialist teachers, and we employ other people from outside the school. We also have specialist schools, and we have a school of rugby. And if you're really into rugby, you can apply to join the School of Rugby, and that means that you have to come out with some other lessons, and you'll be one of 20 youngsters that are chosen to join the School of Rugby. That's open to S1s. If you want to join the School of Dance, again, that's open to 30 youngsters from S1. You can join the School of Dance. Again, you have to come out with other subjects. You have to get your parents' permission, and you have to audition for that. If the only other age restriction is if it's a School of Traditional Music, which is another specialist school, we normally don't take youngsters in until S4, although if you're really talented, we take you in S3. Okay, and I should have mentioned there's a music, I mentioned rock bands and that, but we have a strings group and we have a brass group. There's lots of different musical talents. There is also a brand new School of Shinty. I know that many of you will be into Shinty. It's only been running for 1 year. COVID's sort of given it a wee blip just now, but that should or may be available in the summer term as well. But you can definitely do the School of Rugby. That's definitely running. Right, keep going then. There must be more questions than that. Lunch, right, lunches. There's a huge variety of lunches. You can have fish and chips, you can have chicken curry, you can have steak pies, you can have lasagna, you can have spaghetti bolognese, you can have stir fries, you can have cold sandwiches, cold rolls, hot rolls, a bit like Subways, but we call them Hubways, where you pick different types of bread and you fill it up with whatever type of topping that you want. There's soup, there's vegan food, there's vegetarian food, etc. There's cakes, there's juice. Some of the juice in the cakes obviously have modified ingredients in them because we do have nutritional requirements. Okay, so that's that. Lunch. We got any more questions? Right, at the end of 10 seconds, I'll answer any questions on the board, and if not, I'll just ask you that you ask your teachers to send us an email and we'll answer questions later. But the important thing is that you feel comfortable about coming to Oban High School, and if we answer as many questions as we can, that helps with that. Right, so we've only got one more question added to the list for me to answer before I say au revoir, and that is how long is each lesson? And each lesson, there are 5 periods in the day, and each period is 65 minutes long. Come August, it's different just now, so your brothers and sisters are on a different timetable just now, but in August it'll be 65-minute periods, and many of these will be doubles for a lot of our classes. You get more singles because you have to do more subjects, but the older kids, they do doubles, so they're 130 minutes long. So hopefully I have given you as much information as I can in this sort of online format that allows you to feel more comfortable about coming to Oban High School. I really do hope that you're relishing coming along, given what we've just shown you and given what you've just been told. If there are any questions, any concerns at all, please tell your teacher, and your teacher will get in touch with us, and we will give you a response, and we'll maybe give you a call. There'll be a couple of you who might wish an extended transition because you're really anxious, and that's okay. We'll set that up as well. All right, and your teachers will tell us about that. But please don't worry. Please look forward to it, because I'm looking forward to seeing you all come August and hopefully June. All right. Right. See you all later, everyone.